I'm Andrew from PMI, and we're going to be going over a few common printing tapes and when we recommend that you use each one. So now when you're picking out your tape, your goal is to find one that will peel cleanly and quickly every time, but also stay down when you need it to. Now the type of tape that we'll recommend will depend on the type of inks and frames that you're using. Some inks require a higher tack level of a tape than other inks. So we're going to start out by going over these 4 common printing tapes and measuring the tack levels. So we'll first measure the blue blackout tape, a masking tape, the PMI split tape, and a packaging tape. As you can see, the PMI split tape has a lower tack level than the other tapes. This combined with these blue non-adhesive areas makes it ideal in certain applications, while the other tapes having the higher tack levels make them ideal in the other applications. So we'll start off by going over what we recommend that you use with Plastisol and UV inks, and then move on to our recommendations for solvent, water-based, and discharge inks. Now there's times when you need a lot of adhesive and times when you don't. When you're printing with UV and Plastisol inks with these metal frames like rigid aluminum or roller style, that's a time when you don't. You see the PMI split tape has these blue non-adhesive areas that go against the frame, so you get just enough tack where you need it, and it'll still peel clean every time. Now if you've ever tried printing with cheaper tapes with too much tack, you'll probably recognize this. When you go to peel it off, there's a nasty mess left behind. Nobody wants to clean that up. Now the only time when you might be able to get away with cheaper tapes is with using wood frames. Now because of the nature of the adhesive with the packaging tape and masking tape, there's a chance it might peel clean. But if you do find that there's an adhesive residue mess left behind, make sure you're not spending too much on things like labor, chemicals, and damages caused by those cheaper tapes, because those can often outweigh the savings that you got by these cheaper tapes in the first place. So now we'll go over what we recommend that you use with solvent, water-based, and discharge inks. Now the thing with these inks is that they typically want to work their way under that leading edge of the tape. So I'd recommend starting out with something with a lower tack like the PMI split tape, especially if you're using metal frames. The key here is to make sure that that leading edge is rubbed down nice and smooth. If you do find that it's rubbed down smooth and there aren't any wrinkles and the ink is still working its way under that leading edge, then go with something with a higher tack, like the blue blackout tape. Now this might leave a little adhesive residue behind, but it will stay down. So if you're using these inks, I don't recommend that you use a cheaper tape like a packaging tape or a masking tape. Because of the inks, the tapes likely won't even stay down, and when you do peel them up, it'll most likely leave a nasty mess left behind. So the last thing that I'd like to go over is the length of each roll. You'd be surprised how many people price their tapes out by the price per roll, when really it's the price per yard that matters. So the packaging tape has either 55 or 110 yards on a roll. PMI split tape has 60 yards on a roll. Masking tape generally has 60 yards on a roll. And the blue blackout tape has 36 yards on a roll. So basically when it comes down to it, you don't want to be using more tack than you need to. There's no point in scraping off residue if you don't have to. You should be spending your time doing the things that matter.